Guys, it is the NXT No Mercy review show. You have myself and the Wrestling Dog. We're going to give our thoughts on tonight's NXT PLE. They were at Bakersfield, California, and we have thoughts. We can't wait to hear what you guys have to say in the chat. This is Unpopular Review, NXT No Mercy. Dog diggity, diggity dog. I can't do that thing. Intro. Hi, folks. It's NXT No Mercy Saturday. Unpopular Review. I think you heard all that because we did the whole intro thing. But I am Bad Guy Jack, a.k.a. the Great Grand Slam Pooh. But as you can see what my name says underneath, Carmelo Hayes is still my champion. And I'm joined with the wonderful Wrestling Doll. Wrestling Doll, why don't you tell the lovely people, how are you and your thoughts on NXT tonight? No Mercy.
I'm doing fine. Been chilling out there working for the last 5 days. No Mercy was fun. It was a nice way to relax, kick back, just wearing some merch of a faction that's pretty much now dead in WWE, unfortunately. But we're thriving in NXT, so I figured why not?
We are. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff that happened tonight. I can't wait to talk about it with you. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys in the chat. And why don't we just talk about what was your favorite match of the night?
I'd have to
I know, it's such a hard question, right?
It is, especially since considering the fact we had 5 championship matches tonight. But I'll go with, I actually have 2.
Oh.
The women's match and the NXT championship.
And there you go. I did think that main event was really, really good. It's funny, a lot of people give Tiffany Stratton a lot of hell, but I think she really showed that she is a player in this women's division, huh? Like, she really... See you guys in chat. George, shout out to George. We have to give him a nickname because he's always the first one here. I don't know if we should call him First Place George, but I kind of don't like that because I don't think he's a first placer, but he's always the first. We got Warman, shout out to him. Jackpack Empire. We got the spectacular Shay Sawyer. She's in the chat. The era of the goatee. As a guy with a beard, you know, we don't even envy the guys with the goatee. We just go like. We got Jeffrey's in the chat. What is going on, Jeffrey? Wouldn't be a chat without Jeffrey. My favorite match was Trick Williams and Dominic Mysterio. That's coming from George. But let's talk about the very first match. I missed this match. Did you catch this? The
kickoff match?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. With Kaylani and Blair.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I did catch that match. It was good. She did what she needed to do. She did her best against Blair Davenport, but I knew that unfortunately she was not going to win. But she gave it a roll and she will have another chance in the women's breakout tournament.
Absolutely. I actually had her winning. I can't even sit here and say. Let's put it this way. In the polls that we have privately in the group chat, I stink today. I did not do well at this at all because I had Tiani getting the win, and it made sense for her to win, especially it slipped my mind that she's in this program with Gigi Dolan's, who came out after and attacked her after getting smoked on Tuesday. You know, because Devlin had to teach her and say, this is how you actually do it. But Gigi took notes. I took some notes. And let's continue to talk about No Mercy. They were out, like I said earlier, Bakersfield, California. They were at the Bank Arena. And it opened up, and I thought this was a great way to open the show, right? You have Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. Now, I miss Braun coming out with the dead wolf over him and stuff like that. I saw on Twitter they had a field day with that stuff. But Baron Corbin doing his best impersonation of American Badass Undertaker 2000. But he didn't. I don't ride motorcycles, so you guys could tell me.
Apparently he doesn't either.
Huh?
I said apparently he doesn't either.
Yeah, see, I thought I was the only one because
Like he was doing that, but he was walking on it. Like I get that it's a somewhat small stage, but
You know
still,
what I
shouldn't have
loved about
practiced
this though? Can I say this? What I loved about this? When he did it, there was enough smoke and it choked Vic Joseph. I loved it because I heard Vic Joseph go. I said, "God damn, that's a good job, Baron Corbin." Baron Corbin immediately turned face in my eyes when I heard him. And I said, "Thank goodness," because Vic Joseph make me mad.
Vic always makes you mad.
You guys can't see it, but there's a vein in my neck because I just mentioned Vic Joseph and it very upset me. Baron, I'm sorry. There's so many B's in here. There's too many B's in this match. We got double B, Braun Breaker, and then we got BC, Baron Corbin. So it's the battle of the B's. How did you win the? Okay, now I'm sorry. Already, I miss H Man because he was a fair person with a fair point. Wrestling Dog, you do the polls, the tally up of the UPR stuff, right? Please tell me Shay Soya did not win the championship. Because
I would have to check right now and count.
I think there's a lot of fibbing going on. There's a lot of fibbing being spread.
I didn't do it while watching the show because we haven't been keeping track of that for ages.
No, we haven't. Well, I was the last UPR champion. I just want to throw it out. She says she got only one wrong. She usually doesn't make stuff up, but I think right now because we're on air, she's making stuff up. But David Sanderson actually did really good too in that thing. He might have got one wrong. I'm not sure, but I don't know if he got anything. And I was surprised because I don't think you guys even know who David Sanderson is because he's never on air. But
not anymore.
Not anymore. But shout out to him. Wow. Now you guys ain't even gonna listen to me if I say anything. Never mind. Braun Breaker started this match off really hot. I love how he just after I'm sorry, Baron Corbin drove by me too, as you see why I'm coughing. But Baron Corbin was outside and he kept saying, Come on. Braun said, yeah, ran, flipped over the rope like a madman, then proceeded to kick this man's ass. But Baron Corbin is somebody who just doesn't like getting his ass kicked because that's what the ass was made for. So he fought back. He did some stuff here. I thought there was some really great stuff. There was somewhere in the match later on, Braun Breaker does the Frankenstein. It looked like he got enough of it. It looked like he got him, but enough. But then Baron had to throw his body out. But I thought that was a really great spot. One of my favorite moves from Baron Corbin is the Deep Six. And I think he nailed that sucker so well because when he did it, he put some stink onto it. So because when he did it, he usually spins like 2 times or something like that. But he spun like 3 or 4 times. I might be exaggerating.
Knock Braun out and just ensure that he would win like that.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
The finisher that he never wins with. So
I agree with Jeffrey. We say usually deep 6, but he said that was a deep 12. I totally agree.
It was a deep 6 times 2.
There we go. Don't ask me to do the 6-time tables because flashbacks. Well,
they say 6 times 2 is 12. So
I like easy math. It makes me feel better. We had later in the match, it looked like there was this table spot too. I forgot what it was. I know Baron put Braun through a table. I forget if it was like a choke slam or he just slammed him, but he put him through a table.
He put him through the announce table, but Corbin did it first, even though it didn't really collapse much, although it fell on the screens and stuff to where they were having technical difficulties. So we didn't hear them say anything for a minute.
Oh, I love that. I loved it. I was ashamed.
What happened?
It was a shame that I couldn't hear Booker T because Booker T is a gem on my JL in the chat. Everybody, let's all laugh at JL. This guy.
Get ready for the mental breakdown that he.
There we go. JL, I gotta ask you, my friend. You are the Braun enthusiast in the chat, so I need to know how are you feeling right now. But you know what, JL, I'm not gonna throw too much salt into the wound because I was hurt today too. And I think we both can agree that we're both in some kind of pain and we have to deal with it in some kind of way. After this show.
No, you can be mad at him again. Look at one of the comments he just put up.
But seeing Carmelo lose made my night. You know what? This is why Braun Breaker lost because you're just not nice. You're not a nice person, JL. JL, the Brawnies are really upset, and I'm very happy. I'm glad that he lost. I'm glad that Robert Stone came in. Now, I honestly thought Von Wagner was going to make an appearance. In my mind, because, we got to continue the story. But it was great that Robert Stone, who's a real friend, I always sit here and say, people who stand up for their friends and listen to TLC, What About Your Friends? It's a fantastic song. If you don't know it, get culture. I was glad that he stuck up for him. Now, don't get me wrong, Braun threw Robert Stone out the ring because Robert Stone and me are probably the same weight. But then Baron Corbin proceeded to dominate Braun Breaker with the End of Days. No one kicks out of that unless you're Drew McIntyre. And Braun, he's spinning. He's in a serious relationship with losing, and that's how things go. What did you think about this match, rest of the dog?
It was a good match.
I feel like
it was very I did not anticipate Robert Stone coming back to basically cost Braun the match. I feel like we should have seen that coming at some point, but I honestly didn't.
Yes.
Regardless, it was entertaining, and it was kind of nice to actually see Baron Corbin actually not lose again for once. And it was funny because there were people back cheering for Corbin, actually, which surprised the hell out of me. I was like, I had to take a closer look at the list. I was like, wait a minute, are the people actually cheering for Baron Corbin? The person they've been booing?
That's wild, right?
I was like,
freaking wild.
Please tell me there's no face turn on that, because no,
I don't think so. I think they had to pick someone to cheer, and they chose Baron. It's funny. I'm sorry. I'm laughing in the chat because I love like stirring up stuff. And JL says this feel personal. Kick me when I'm down. JL, I'm personally hurt too. Don't worry. You'll hear my banter later in the night. So no, I'm not trying to. No, actually, I am trying to kick you down because you kicked me first. Don't kick me. And don't think I'm going to kick back. But that was a good. I do want to sit here and say, great opener. That's how you open up the show. These guys really killed it.
I mean, we're going to kill each other, so might as well have them go first.
Yeah. Well, I loved how they said that they can't be contained because they
couldn't be contained. It's just let them go now.
We got Dirty Dom got robbed by Elvis Martinez. Hey, Elvis! I didn't know
Dirty Dom got robbed. Well, who decided that it was a good idea for him to knock out not just Dragon Lee, but the other ref that came in after he knocked out Dragon Lee? That was his fault.
We got George. He said, I didn't expect it. JL said, I need to cool off. I think JL just took the cat. JL, you'll be all right, my friend. Carmelo, I believe, will get a rematch. Melo was a Blur champion. You were a Blur champion, and I don't think you was ever a champion of it. The only thing you was a champion of getting on my damn nerve. No, I want to have a moment here with the 4'2" jackass in the chat. What do you mean he was a meh champion? A black champion? Who even just used that word? You're black. You're black? I'm sorry, take the floor, because Elvis just, I know that's what he wants. Elvis just like being yelled at. He's the kind of person. You remember that song back in the day, 2016? Oh my God, I'm acting like it was like 18 years ago. And it was on Suicide Squad. I'm a sucker for pain. That's who Elvis is. He's a sucker and he likes pain. Sucker. I'm sorry. I feel like I was booing Dragunov when he beat him out. See, Warman gets it. Warman, you beautiful child, you. Thank you. Let's move on to the next one.
I just want to say this in regards to the show, to everything with the match. Match, like I said, was good. It was fun. I'm surprised that Elvis used the word that nobody has used since 2010 when Kesha used it for a song called Blah Blah Blah.
He's a Kesha fan.
Well, I was too. So.
Well, you're fantastic, and you grew up. Elvis can't grow.
Well, no, he can't. He's stuck being 5 feet and under.
Yeah, he is. I feel like I feel like he was one of the Smurfs, and Papa Smurf said, "Oh my God, just get away from me already! Like, just leave." And he actually did it. I just got some notice from EC, and I'll read that later. Let's go to the next match. We go into the next match. We go from this brawl to a championship match, the North American Championship
match, one of
5. Oh, check that out. We have early in the show we have Melo. He puts over his boy Trick. That's what you're supposed to do. You put your boy over. Dirty Dom against Trick Williams with Dragon Lee as the special referee. Yeah, I liked in the beginning how Dirty Dom when he snatched the belt from Dragon. And I laughed because when he did it, Booker T kept saying, "Look at Dragon Lee trying to steal the spotlight from Dirty Dom," and I was like, "My boy,
the spotlight from Dirty Dom."
He was, yeah. I'm saying my boy was actually just really doing his job. Although I have to ask, he's the ref. Why do your shirt have to be sleeveless? Like refs don't get that privilege. How you just be like, yeah, I'm going to throw the gun?
Didn't Shawn Michaels do that at some point when he was?
Shawn Michaels, he's a troublemaker. So like, I wouldn't use that as a group.
Lee, when they were refs, they had their shirts all cropped up and stuff.
Who?
MJF did that too on AEW. So he can be one that has it with no sleeves.
So I mean, but that's following. Is that what we're trying to tell people? Be a follower? No, be yourself. Be original, be authentic. And if you don't know what that word means, look it up. It's in the dictionary. Just like kayfabe.
In the dictionary now.
Yeah, like kayfabe. That's actually in the dictionary now.
I can't believe it.
That is fine. We are winning every day as wrestling fans. We are just winning all the time. And people don't even know it. Us wrestling fans, we're winning. We're getting ready to slowly take over the world.
Wait, look who's here.
Who's here?
H-Man. New H-Man.
H-Man? Where?
New H-Man.
Oh. I mean, hey, New H. I'm sorry. I missed the prodigal son of the Jack Pack community. But New H Man, you know, he's such a lovely soul, and that's what we like here in this chat. We like lovely people. I don't know how Elvis got into the chat, but we like lovely people. We got there's no rules on how to wear a ref shirt, and there's a question mark. Is that a question or? Is that a question or is that you're telling me there's no rules? How do you know there's no rules? I bet that Chris Evans is going through a phase that his greatest North American champion law. Yeah, right now he just wrote me, and he said he's in a glass case of emotions right about now. Trish Stratus didn't have sleeves as a special. I mean, who's gonna complain about that?
You wear how she wanted it. She had it cropped and tied up. That's what I'm saying. You can wear the ref shirt how you want.
Oh, I'm not gonna complain anything about Trish Stratus, but Dragon Lee. I mean, especially since he's a follower of that fraud Rey Mysterio, I'm not gonna hold you guys. I wasn't feeling Dragon Lee because he likes to be under fraud. But this match was solid. I thought this match did what it had to do. I didn't take a whole lot of notes. There was definitely that rough bump. I will sit here and tell you guys. I will tell you guys. I expected Dirty Dom to retain the championship. I expected him to retain. I thought Trick was not going to win. I'm happy Trick won. Good for him. Shout out to Sawyer for the picture. I'm very happy that he won and being wrong because in my mind I said, "Oh, Dom retains and Dragon Lee is going to get this his rematch at some point." There was a spot where towards the end when Dom tried to use the championship, Trick hit the knee, pinned him 1, 2, 3. Solid, and I once again very happy. Hard work pays off. Interested in seeing where this title run goes, and I know the Judgment Day. This is the first part of the Judgment Day falling apart because this is their first championship being taken away from them. Russell Dahl, please take the floor and tell the lovely people how did you feel about this match.
I was happy that Dominic is no longer the NXT North American champion. You know what that means? He doesn't have to be on my screen on Tuesdays anymore. And Trick Williams whooped that Trick. And now that he is the champion, if they do not make a shirt that says whoop that Trick, they are losing out on money there.
Wrestling Dahl. I wanted, before we go on, because you said something, I want to do the you know how the chat the crowd says whoop that Trick and Booker. Let's do it for the lovely people. So why don't you go whoop that Trick? You do the crowd, I will be Booker T.
Whoop that Trick.
Uh-huh.
Whoop that Trick.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I can't keep going.
Whoop that Trick. Yeah. Whoop that Trick. Stop him. Whoop that Trick. Uh-huh. Whoop that Trick. Ooh. Absolutely. I loved all of it. Booker T needs to be featured on some. I know he did that track with Bad Bunny. But I would love nothing more if they did something like they did something and Booker T's in the background. Like, because Booker T would probably make easy money by just saying, uh-huh. Because all he did. Whoop that Trick. No bread, Was it no bread? Just me. We got intrigue whoop that trick and dominant. And we got in the chat. I think eventually we gotta get some merch going here on Unpopular View because you have some great catchphrases. I have a lot of great catchphrases. And look at this one. Dominic got dominated. And I love how everyone puts it in capital. Is that how it sounds when I say it? It's just that's fantastic. Thank you. But this was a really good match. After the match, you see Trick. Mello. He's in the zone. Trick says, ah. And they're happy, they're celebrating. They said late in the night, we're gonna paint the town red. There's a tear flowing down, guys, and you can't see it. But I'm holding back my tears because I don't need to be judged on air. Next match we had was a fatal 4-way for the NXT North America. I'm sorry. It was for the NXT
Team Champion.
Wrestling Doll, please, why don't you take the floor? What were your thoughts about this tag match?
Well, first of all, I like how Humberto and Angel are doing it more serious and are not just playing around trying to be like players, trying to get all the girls, trying to dress all flashy and stuff, which by the way, I got to give a shout out to Trick because he came in with the Gucci on the shirt with the colors on his button up. And then when he came into the match, he had on the Versace robe. I was like, oh, okay, we got the money. And then on the band of his trunks, he had the red and green Gucci again. And it said Tricky Williams on. And I was like, okay. There we go on that. But the 4-way was a good match. It showed I saw a lot of improvement in terms of Humberto and Angel. I mean, they were a good team, but they definitely have like connected more and are working very well together. The spots they had were pretty good. I got to see the Brutus Bomb again, which I love. Happened, which was fun. And that 4-way suplex from the top rope on every buckle. Beautiful. But when I was watching, I was thinking, who's going to get pinned? It can't be Angel or Humberto because they're just showing that they're a dominant force. And it cannot be the Creed brothers because when they came in, there was a humongous ass section with Creed brothers signs. I was like, oh shoot, they got a Diamond section over there, just like when Bailey used to be in NXT as the hugger. So I was like, it only makes sense that it's one of the members of Out the Mud, which it was Lucian Price that got the pin.
They did this really impressive move talking about Out the Mud, right? And I wrote this in my. I was like, I'm not gonna say that every week, Out the Mud, because it just seems like very not even over the top. It just seems not redundant either. It just like, what kind of name is that?
Seems like it fits.
You said it fits.
I said it seems like it doesn't fit.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know if I'm gonna say, but they did this really cool spot I wanted to talk about. I wanted to highlight it real quick because Tony D, he's a mean. That Tony D's a pretty meaty boy. They did a fighter.
He's a fighter because I did not see like what happened to his knee when he got like knocked out. Right? I was wondering. I was looking around at some point like, where did he go?
But you're talking about when he was out for
the knee brace on. I was like, oh, that's what happened.
They actually got me on that spot.
Hartwell all over again.
They actually got me on that spot where I actually thought he got hurt. At first, I was like, nah, not so much. But the way it was shot, it kind of made me think, oh, he's really being taken out. And I thought they did a really good job on telling that story because when he got out the ring, they didn't have the camera on him and they escorted him out, and then seeing the crowd get up and like clap. I thought that they really had the crowd in the palm of their hands with that. The spot I was talking about, there was somewhere one of them from Out the Mud. They did somewhere they lift him up, and the other guy was able to catch him and slam him. I thought that was just impressive because, like I said, Tony D is a pretty big dude. Jeffrey saying, "I miss how he got hurt." I didn't see how he got hurt either. I don't know. I think he might have did like a move. He might have ran like almost like. I don't know, like twist his ankle. I
tweaked his knee.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody tweaked it for him.
Yeah. And I thought this match was really good. I couldn't write everything down because there was just so much activity going on in that ring, guys. Where it's hard to.
Four-way alone. That's
Oh,
it's
jeez.
and especially when it's a tag match.
Mm-hmm.
You got 8 people to focus on.
And it's a really good match. I'm glad that you mentioned Brutus because I noticed a lot of people. I know a lot of people look at Julius and I see why. I mean, the man is really just that dude. You know, he won people over many moons ago. But when he did the spot where I think he had like someone in a Boston Crab and then he powerbombed somebody, I was like, Jesus, he just needs to be a part of the Avengers. But Brutus has been winning me over because I just think he's much more. He have more character than Julius, and
well,
and
one of them has to be the goofball.
And he does a fantastic job doing it. And even the we got H-Man, new H-Man says, okay, I'm back in. George, I didn't see, but it looked like it wasn't serious. We got Dolly Pool. It says, hey, yo. We're going to say, hey, yo, D Pool. And that 4 suplex was amazing from Jeffrey. Elvis said, Tony D isn't talented. I missed that.
Comments. It's just going to irk us. And it reminds me of one of my friends that's been doing hot takes on Facebook.
Oh, they want to be edgy. They want to be edgy. They want to be all
annoying the hell out of people. I'm like,
they think they're Linkin Park, but we all know you're pop music, which is nothing wrong with. I like pop music. I'm from Best Fest. We got someone from Ireland. All right, shout out to you. We're gonna highlight you because you're. I've never seen you in the chat, but we hope that you enjoy our review. We hope to see more of you in the chat. I am Bad Guy. This is the Wonderful Wrestling Doll. We talk NXT, and we hope. And he just says, "Just stumbled in." That's cool. I stumble in all the time. That's literally how my mother gave birth to me. I just stumbled into the world. So she regrets it every day. But yeah,
she doesn't.
You have not heard the things that woman has told me. She
probably didn't mean it.
I'm gonna get Mama Bad Guy one day on this show. And the ratings are going to go great, and y'all going to replace me.
That's we wouldn't.
Well, you know what, Wrestling Dog? Thank you. Fantastic. I wasn't really going to get her on here. Yeah. I just feel like my mother is somewhat disappointed. But it was a great fatal 4-way. Fantastic. And it was great that I do want to say it was great that you had Out the Mud on it. This was their first PLE. And also, I'm sorry, I can't think of the name, but Gonza and Angel and Humberto's team. I forget the name, but I thought it was great also too that they were getting some.
They're called Los Lotharios, but I don't even know if they're being called that still because when the Titantron came out, it just showed their names. It didn't say Los Lotharios. So I feel like they're going to revamp it and maybe either change the name or just stick to calling them Angel and Humberto.
I like that because they're not like my favorite team, right? But I like that they're being utilized in because I like tag team wrestling, so I like that they're being utilized. I expect them to win. I don't even really expect them to win the NXT tag team championship, but I like that they're adding some depth to the tag team division, and they're pretty solid team. Once again, yes, and they're good hands. So, this match was great. We got in the chat. On this Tuesday night will be NXT. October 3rd. Right. This is the last review show we're having. Yes. Yeah, yes, I did stumble into this world, Jeffrey. That's just exactly. I never asked to be here. I was just here. It looked like Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. Absolutely. We're gonna save that for towards the end of the review. I'll be honest, I stumbled in and stayed for a doll and her wave. So they loved your wave. There we go.
Either my hair or this wave. I don't know.
There we go. Either way, thank you for stumbling in, Stumbler. Stumbling D. That's what we're gonna. If you're still here, that's my new nickname for you. I give nicknames to people. Got the Drumtastic Jeffrey, Stumbling D. I don't have nothing for you yet, George. Give me time. Oh, yes, Sweater First George. That's it. I should use that more. What else do we got here? Next one, we had the Heritage Cup. Butch against Noam Dar.
Number 3.
That was for the right. This is. Right, because it's considered a title, right? Like it's considered
one, yes. Technically.
Yeah. Okay. And
it was a championship Like when it showed like Noam Dar's name. It's a Heritage Cup champion.
Oh, now they had a champion because I thought it was, because I put cup.
Well, I mean, when Alicia was announcing it, it would have been awkward if she just said North Heritage Cup.
I can understand that.
She's used to saying championship for those matches, so.
Wrestling Dog, I'm going to start with you. What did you think about this match between Butch, don't call me Pete Dunne, against Noam Dar without Alicia Fox?
That it went the way that I thought it would in terms of how Noam Dar was going to retain the Heritage Cup by interference and by some tomfoolery. What I did not expect was the tomfoolery to come out also from the hands of Gallus, all because they were sad and bitter that Joe Coffey was not the one to go up against Noam Dar. But it was a good match. I was happy to see that Tyler was the one that came out with Butch. I mean, they've had their battles, but they have respect for each other, and that showed a lot. And I was like, thank God he came up with someone, because God forbid what would have happened if he came out by himself while Noam Dar has the rest of the metaphor with him.
I mean, if I could just sit here and piggyback on what you were saying. So it was great that Tyler Bate came out with him. But either way, he was going to get punched in the face by Gallus. Gallus just don't care. Like, Gallus, they're just a bunch of roughnecks. They seem like people that anytime I'm going to Staten Island, these are people I would stay away from because they seem dangerous. I didn't think this match was bad. I don't know. It's the rules. I don't know. I don't hate it. I love that it's something different, but I'm also
it's something we're not familiar with, so it's like a little different than the normal continuous 10, 15, 20, even 30-minute match with the consistent breaks and all that, and certain rules that they had to abide by. I mean, it wasn't horrible. It was
It was decent. I mean, you're not gonna have a bad match with Butch and Noam Dar. I mean, I think these two are just great, solid workers. I don't know. It's something about the rules that it's like it doesn't bother me, but I'm like, I don't know. It's just that don't work for me, brother. Oh, that's it. I had nothing else to follow up with.
Oh, I don't have anything else either.
But real quick, let's break down this match a little bit. Noam Dar gets the first fall. I'm looking this way because my notes is here. I'm not just looking here just because I'm trying to be funny. But Noam Dar, he gets the first fall in round 2. In round 1, though, Noam Dar, like when the bell, just as it ended,
the bell rang and he hit Pete.
He just duffed him. He just sat there and said, "Oh, that kind of hurt," but he just duffed him. And I thought that was great. Butch was not a fan of stuff like that, so he got the second fall in round 3. He hit this when he hit the bitter end. I thought that, I mean, the way he hit it and the way Noam Dar sold it was just fan-freaking-tastic. I thought that was great. The next few rounds, I forgot the thing goes up to 6 rounds. So 4 and 5, they're going back and forth to trading holds and holds and fists and stuff. But round 6, that's when everything starts to get a little crazy. I think stuff started
really the chaos unfolded.
You have Mansoor. I said Mansoor. Oro, he comes. He tries to interfere. Pete
interfered twice.
Tyler Bate stops him, but I did like the nod that Butch did in the match because he hit him with the bop. Where he does like this and then he punches and then he hit the Tyler driver, and everyone kept saying like Tyler was going to turn heel. And I was starting to believe it too. I was like, oh, maybe this is where he turned. But then that's where, like how we mentioned earlier, Gallus comes out of nowhere. They're just a bunch of angry fellas. They just want to stomp you out. It reminds me of this Boondocks song. You know that their favorite song from Boondocks is "Stomp Them in the Nuts." What? Stomp them in the nuts, because that's what they did. They stomped these dudes in the ground. I don't remember the whole lyrics. They're a big fan of Thugnificent because they stomped these dudes in the nuts. Noam Dar gets the win. And, don't call me Pete Dunne. Yeah. Yeah. We got a lot of laughter in the chat. We got it was an okay match from George. The fans didn't seem to be into this match to certain parts. Talking about Jeffrey. Can I ask where you guys are from? It's New York, brother. It's
He is.
Is it New
I'm in
York?
Florida.
No, I'm Canadian. I'm from Canada. Yeah. Well, why is everyone looking at me like that? I came up here when I was a certain age, but I'm from Canada.
Can we call your mother and ask?
No one calls my mother. She's asleep right now. I know this because, it's after 10, and that's what people do. They go to sleep. Not us, but I'm Canadian. So if you don't believe me.
We're reviewing unpopular review of my family's watching a UFC fight in the living room, so that's where you can hear all
Who's fighting tonight?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
It's like, earlier today I was asked about John Wick. Hey, which John Wick movie you saw? I said the movie where he had blood on his face. I don't know. I can't tell. We got Gallus is not my favorite. Talking about George. Gallus has to stick their nose in this match because why? Well, you got to remember, Jeffrey. They who was it? Joe lost to Butch. So they're not going to let that slide, and they're going to sit here and beat people up.
Our boy lost. We're so upset and bitter about it. We need to go on and beat the crap out of Tyler for no reason because he's on Pete's side. And we're bored out of our minds in the backstage catering area. So we're just going to go out there and whoop some ass, even though it would
have been great if they still had, oh my God, I can't think of my man's name. He was part of Mustache Mountain with Tyler Bate. I'm sorry, it's just his name is blanking. Like if someone put in the chat, I'll be like, all right, that's who he is. Oh God, I'm mad I can't think of his name. And he has a really great beard. I just can't think of it. But he was the third member of British Strong Style, is my point. We got George. He says Jay Cargill needs Jakara Jackson and Last Legend. I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I don't think she needs to. I don't think so. I respectfully disagree.
She doesn't need to go into a faction, and not with the metaphor. I mean, they're a little over the top, and she's not that.
We got no, she's not that. We got Jeffrey says, who actually remember that? Clearly me, because I just said it. just I'm sorry.
He remembers.
Let's not send out Big Joseph questions here. And I agree with Jeffrey. He says in the chat
during one of the matches of the time, he said that there's $120 left. I was like, oh my God, Vic.
Told you. As soon as you said that, I said, see, we got D Pool, who says, I live same town as Fit Finley is from. Dope. That is so cool. No, Jakara Jackson, Last Legend, leave metaphor. Nah, no, I don't think. Nah. Especially, I mean,
it works perfectly for them. They get to be as extra as they want to be, and they can wrestle whenever they want.
We got Sawyer in the chat. I think Jade needs someone similar to what Dana Brooke was for Charlotte at one point. That would be a good match. So I guess if what everyone's saying, like some kind of manager role. Or someone to be so right. Okay, I'm trying to remember. Charlotte,
Robert Stone brand, and hopefully break the curse.
Jeffrey wrote in the chat, George, you're 0-2 here. Nah, that nah is not. Can you capitalize that nah? Like it gotta be capital N, capital A, capital H, and put it like 6 explanation points, please. Like you gotta be like nah. You can't just be like, like what is it? What is this? Winnie the Pooh? What is this? An episode of Captain Planet? Because you guys act like y'all like that show? Frauds, you guys are. Then we got the NXT champion. Let me take the floor here. There we go. Nah. There we go. There's not enough explanation points there. Please stop seeing WWE NXT, please. Please? Who is it?
Hey, if you don't like the product, don't watch it. And if you don't like what we're talking about, then don't watch us. Isn't that a good idea? If you don't like something, don't look at it. Don't watch it. That's why I never watched Jersey Shore. That's why I never watched Teen and Pregnant. That's why I never watched Teen Mom.
Woo! I'm superstar. You got the
That's why I
Joker
don't
in
watch
me
stuff like
kicking
The
out.
Bachelor,
How
The
can you sit
Bachelorette.
here and say, please don't watch what makes you happy? I'm gonna watch what makes me happy, bro. Listen, thank you for being in the chat. Apparently, you thought you said something, you didn't. So listen, watch what makes you happy, and that's the end of that. Because I want to talk about this NXT championship match. We have
Championship match number 4.
yes. Thank you for the count. We have Illinois Dragunov against Carmelo Hayes. All right, guys. Let me. I don't even have to put notes. This match was great. This match was really great. These guys went out there, busted their ass, and I think this match was definitely better than the first one. These guys really went out there, and I love even some of the callbacks. Right. I'm not going to go by move because that's just not what we do here. But I did love the callback of when Dragon was going for like the springboard drop kick, and he knew Mello was going for his move. He counted it. This was such a game of chess when I was watching this, and I thought that this was just great. So many great things. He calls this thing what's it called, the H bomb or something like that when he drops the elbow. I just call it the flying Batman. What's it called?
I couldn't catch the name exactly.
Sure. If you guys know in the chat,
maybe something in German, but I couldn't catch it.
I think it's like H bomb because then Vic said something later, like because Mello kicked out a few of those, and Vic, yes, and Vic said something about, I almost said a word that I can't say alive. And I was thinking like the F bomb
from kicking out of it.
Exactly.
So I was like, he can't say it, but they can.
Yeah, they could.
I was like, and I mean, honey, iced tea like Marty did in Madagascar. If you want to say that word so badly, the people know what you mean, and if they don't, they too young.
Well, maybe obtuse. And he hit it the first time, kicked out. He hit it the second time. I think he hit it from like the second turnbuckle, kicked out. But the third time was the
charm.
Oh man, like I shout out to him. I wasn't ready for Mello to drop the championship.
He held it,
and I'm not gonna.
1 day.
I'm not
on the air.
Huh? So I'm sorry. Say one more time.
He had the belt for 181 days before this match.
I
it
wish
felt like longer, but in a good way.
I wish it was longer. I really did. I mean, I like Dragunov, but I liked Mello a little bit more. But I do sit here and say, as much I was actually disappointed. I was really deflated when I heard the 3 count. I said, I actually rolled my eyes. I just said, no, okay. But,
no, my jaw dropped because I wasn't expecting
it. Yeah, I did an eye roll. To the point where I think I had to lay down because I think I had vertigo. Oh, what's it called? Is it vertigo? It's vertigo because it's that YouTube song. If anyone remembers YouTube. Not YouTube. But congratulations to Dragunov. I think he's such a great hand. He deserves it. This man loves pain. But at the end, I think I really rolled my eyes when, Mello's already knocked out, right? His Dragunov. Come on, shake my hand. Come on.
He hugged him. I was like, I respect him.
Unbelievable shaking. A lot of sweat flying. I was not amused by that. I like, why you listen, already lost. So when I lose, I need a moment to just take a moment. This guy now all of a sudden want to be buddies and hugs and just rub body sweat. I don't think I understood anything he said. I don't think I understood any of that. He shook his hand. Mello was like, yeah. But Mello's still my champion. You guys can accept that. Now Dragunov's made my list of people now that I have to sit here and I don't know. I can't do anything against Dragunov. Dragunov would just beat the shit out of me. But shout out to him. Wrestling Doll, what is your takes on it? Would you shake hands with this man?
Yes.
Because I know
what he would do.
What would he do? You? I think he's very aggressive, right? I think
like if I were a male and if I were a wrestler in NXT and I would have to go against him, and if he wanted to shake my hand at the end of it, I would shake it solely because I wouldn't want to disrespect him and I wouldn't want to get the wrath of Dragunov after all that he went through.
You know what I love about that? Because I love it where you might Russell Doe would say, no. Here's Dragunov. And he just runs and headbutt. He'll probably just headbutt. He probably would miss you and just hit Chris. Like Chris would just get headbutt. And I don't know why. I just enjoy all of that.
But I do have some stuff I want to say.
Please take the floor before I keep talking, please.
First of all, I feel like some way, somehow he found our programming because he came back in the same old style gear that he used to wear, which I was like, thank you, Jesus, because I missed that style of gear on him. And speaking of gear, when I saw Dragunov, he had on his tights on the back, it said Unbesiegbar, which I checked online and I translated it on there, which means invincible. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. It was separated too. So I was wondering, like, what did that mean? I didn't know if it was a phrase or something. So I was like, I'm going to look it up and see. But match was good. They had some great intense spots. When Dragunov suplexed Carmelo from the outside of the ring back inside, I was like, yeah, Melo's going to lose. Because the stuff that Dragunov was doing, I'm like, holy shit. But I cannot wait to see what they do with this belt and who his first challenger will be. Bye, Sergio.
I'm sorry, I was on mute because I wanted you to continue your thoughts.
And I also want to say, Sergio, if you want to have a little fight, I'm a lady, and we don't start fights, but we do finish them.
And the words of I don't know what song this was, but it was something to go, yeah, bitch. There's something. I don't know. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. I think it was a Mary J. Blige song. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep moving on. We already saw this. This is a review show. I like how the chat are just pretty much saying bye. What is this fella's name? Sergio. That sounds like a villain name. He sounds like he's getting ready to like kidnap Rocky and Bullwinkle. And that sucks. Sergio, don't mess with the wrestling doll. Do not mess with the wrestling doll. Do not mess with the wrestling doll. She's very she doesn't take no stuff. And neither do I.
Honey, I don't over here.
I don't like too much sugar because it's not good for the blood pressure. Honey is great for tea. Ice, I put in my water and tea. Hey, look at this guy. He said liked and subbed. He liked to sub. He just want to get the chat riled up. He's a heel. Hey, everybody. We have a heel in the chat.
We had 3. Counting that one, we had 3.
Yes. I'm sorry. I mixed up D-Pool for this other guy. I'm sorry, D-Pool. You're not a heel. You're such a baby face. I'm so wrong for that. I apologize. I thought it was the other guy. But thank you for liking, subbing, D-Pool. You're going to have a great time on these reviews, especially Tuesday nights. We talk about NXT. The Wrestling Doll yells. And I try to calm things down because I grew up listening to some calm Luther Vandross. Luther, we miss you. Can we get to the main event? George, do not rush this review. We're gonna get there. All right, like we're gonna don't. You know what? Jeffrey, we need to take some points away. A negative 2,000 points from George for rushing me. Get that done. Get that done right now. I want that done right now, or I'll hold you guys hostage. I'm glad I came because I was going to do my Canadian joke. What do you have against us Canadians? What do you have against us Canadians? I'm sorry. Do you have some against Canada? Huh? You know what, D-Pool? You already made me mad. Okay? Because what Canadian joke do you have, huh? Because we're so pleasant. We're kind. Let's get to the main event because right now, guess what went through the roof? My blood pressure. And that's a terrible thing. And Vic Joseph's not even in the chat. Thank goodness. Let's get to this main event. We have Becky Lynch defending the NXT Women's Championship against Tiffany Stratton. Oh my God! Look at this. No. I'm sorry. No. How many zeros is that? How many freaking zeros is that?
He gave you negative 25 million points.
I'm in debt. What are you talking about? What are you doing? George. Oh my goodness. You know, George takes us over the top. Like, I would take away 1,000, and this guy just wants to make sure I'm homeless. Like, they literally, I'm at a point where like someone just took my box away. Why is that many zeros?
I don't know.
George, I don't even want to continue the show anymore.
Can we please talk about the main event?
I'm very upset. Well, why don't you lead the way? Because I'm very upset.
Okay, so we had Tiffany Stratton come out in some rose gold and some cheap-looking sequin robe, trying to look like Charlotte Flair. That's what I thought when I saw him when it was shining and it was very sheer and see-through. I was like, oh, okay, it's that cheap sequin fabric that you can get for like $20 a yard.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the back it said Tiffy time, or Tiffy top, or Tippy top, or something like that. And then we had Becky coming out ready for a fight with the shirt on that had her daughter's name, her husband's name, Bray's name, and it even had Last Kicker on the bottom, which was a nice touch.
On the back, yeah, that was great. You said her daughter's name, right?
Yes. And she walked out, but she was like, wait a minute, hold on. She walked back and she came out like Bad Bunny did for Backlash with the shopping cart full of stuff for the match, which I found funny because literally she came back and she saw Tiffany coming out. She whooped it out, that candlestick, with one hand and just whacked her right across from it. I love the part where she had the bag and put all those dolls on the bottom on the ring. I died laughing. I was like, wow, we called Tiffany a Barbie doll. Now she's pulling that out. I found that so funny. And my favorite spot was when Becky rolls to hide under the ring after Tiffany puts her through the steel steps, and she's looking for her. And then when she finds her, she gets sprayed in the face with a fire hydrant. And got man slammed into the chairs to lose against Becky Lynch and cannot be Tiffy top 2 belts.
I'm sorry, my mother wanted to make sure I was okay. I guess I was yelling. You guys woke up my mother, so it's your guys' fault. This match was great. I thought that we all know how great Becky is, right?
Shawn Michaels did what Triple H didn't do during the last WWE pay-per-view, and that was put Becky Lynch in the main event.
I'm sorry, give me a minute. Yeah, no, that was a really cool feature that they had there. Putting these women in the main event, giving them time too. They gave them a lot of time. They gave them
they went for like 20 some minutes.
It was 20 minutes.
Roughly,
I wanted to say earlier in the match, one of the things I did like.
I'm just counting with intro in the ring.
I was gonna sit here and say I like the spot in the beginning where like you mentioned when Becky came out, and I already did like this, but I liked how Tiffany already had a brass knuckles in her hand and ready to just fight, and Becky was like, "Oh, hold on, give me a minute," because earlier even in the show, she was shopping backstage and she was putting all the stuff in the cart and everything. These women went out there and delivered, and I thought their second encounter was definitely better than their first. Tiffany really was able to hang in there, and she took a lot of bumps. You saw, I forget what spot it was, but there was a spot where she was bleeding, and stuff like that. It just shows you how tough she is and how she can really like hang in there. She's not going to sit here and go like, "Oh man, I'm bleeding."
Oh, like on her head.
Yeah, she had like
that was when they were walking up through the audience, and some guy in the crowd gave Becky that giant.
Oh, that chain. Okay.
Head with it.
She got
a cut in the head and not a big ass bump on her forehead like Trish did this year.
She the spot where she did like the springboard elbow and it went through the barricade, that was unique because you always see people run through it like a spear or something like that. So I thought that was fantastic. I thought Tiffany really hung in there. I think Tiffany is it was I feel what that person is saying. I felt that energy on your side. I feel like this was I think some people are going to have a different opinion on what was a Tiffany standout match, but for me, this was a standout match, and I thought that she really did a
They
great
amped it
job.
up this time around in comparison to the first match that they had for that belt. Just like how Mello and Dragunov really amped it up this time. Vic said that their last match was an instant classic. No, this match was an instant classic for Mello and Dragunov.
Well,
with Tiffany, this was definitely an instant classic match for her, and I think she definitely will be somebody, like she said before, that will be main eventing for a decade, but most definitely she will be main eventing. It's more at some point in the future.
No, absolutely. She's she has the potential to be that. Sorry, I had to make sure I had my phone charged. She had the potential to do that, and I thought this match showed that she's capable of doing that. And also, too, just to throw out there, it was great to have Tegan Knox in the crowd. So
she needed to see who her opponent was going to be tomorrow.
I think it was no doubt that Becky, was going to get the win.
Becky was the one that was pulling for her to be on that match that she had against Natalya in the first place. But because Natalya took Tegan's place at that superstar spectacle thing that they had in India, they're like, oh, we're going to give it to her to say a thank you for that. So now Tegan will get her chance.
Yeah, and it's going to be great that she's getting an opportunity. I was trying to say earlier, we did a review show on Raw and SmackDown, and
those that have been around in the business for a while and want to put people over that are either moved, that have only been in there for a little bit and are working their way up, or those that have been in there for a while but don't get utilized as much. Becky's trying to help the women's division. Y'all stop hating.
No, she is, and there was a lot of controversy on something she said, and I saw on Twitter a lot of people blew up in her face saying, "Well, you're pretty much what Charlotte was," or something like that. I don't
listen. Let her put over some of these people. Let her make these people look good. They don't got a lot of people down there that can do that with the experience that she's had. They had somebody similar to that in Dana Brooke, and what happened to Dana Brooke?
Mm-hmm.
Case end point.
There's that. And that was our NXT No Mercy review show.
And before we forget, they did announce who the 8 women in the breakout tournament this year
are. Oh, I missed that part. Please tell me.
So they have, in order of how they were shown in the video package, Jakara Jackson, Carmen Petrovic, Lola Vice, Jada Parker, who somebody sent in our chat that it might have been the new name for Jade Cargill, which I doubt they're going to give her a new name because she's already as Jade Cargill. It was somebody completely different. Izzy Dame, Danny Palmer, Kaylani Jordan, and the returning Ariana Grace, the only person in this breakout tournament that was in last year's tournament.
Ooh, they're giving another opportunity.
Well, I mean, she's finally back after recovering.
All right. Well, I heard good things.
Happy in our chat. Miss Sawyer is happy that Ariana Grace is back.
Oh, I don't listen to her.
You work with her on your big paying pod.
I love when people. I love it. The Big Bang. I haven't watched that show in years, but the Big Pop 3 podcast, and that's only because I'm contractually obligated to be there, and I get yelled at. That's why people don't understand the fear that I go through, but you guys don't care. No one cares about my well-being. I'm always in danger all the time. But that is our review show. We're going to be back again on Tuesday. We're going to be here on Tuesday with this. I'm sorry. Are you looking at the chat? Because the chat is really hilarious. First of all,
concerning what Sergio said, then yes.
I'm not paying him no mind. Shout out to George. He says he'd give NXT a solid B, and I think that's a great grade to give this because I thought this show. One of the things I liked about the show was the match quality was great, and also too was digestible. You know, my big pet peeve on certain wrestling shows, they'll have 12 matches. This NXT usually don't what's the word? Not overrun. It usually kind of ends at a close what, like 10:05 or something like that. But they gave these matches time. That was fine. But the show was digestible, and I just wanted to say I agree with that grade. I'm sorry, I was in thought with thing. Roxanne won last year's breakout tournament. Chris says that. Good Chris said that. George said Jeffrey said a lot of my faves in this tournament. We got now we can watch the Guns win their match tomorrow. Yeah, that's
No. No, if she's talking about the Gun Club brothers, are you out of your mind, Shay? Absolutely not. But
I love it. The plot thickens. This is all I ever wanted, is to see everyone turn against each other. Keep going, Wrestling Dog. This is great.
Sorry, but I cannot get behind the Gun brothers now. I can't. They're too annoying. They've been annoying. I can't.
This is excellent. This is all I wanted. This is all I wanted to see. People turn on each other. I love when I see.
I'm not turning on her. I'm just saying I cannot stand the Gun Club boys.
Oh, damn. Nothing ever goes the way I wanted. Oh, well.
But I do have something I want to say before we end this. And if you are able to, once this is over, I would like you to make a clip of it so I can send it to this person.
Oh, absolutely. Let me make sure I get it on the right mark thing. Hold on. Give me a minute. Because I'm a professional. What are we? There's a 1 there. Oh, wait, no. 1 hour. Why do you have a pen? Unprofessional. A pen that don't work. Hold on. Give me a minute. Okay, carry on.
I just want to say a happy birthday to my friend Sean, even though now it's midnight and it just passed. It was his birthday on the night of No Mercy. And even though he likes to bug me and is a big pain in my butt, he's still a good friend, and I want to wish him a happy birthday.
When you say Sean, right?
Yes.
Before I edit this video.
Yes.
It's not Shawn Michaels, is it?
No.
I think. In Canada, we call him the Enemy.
Because of the Canadian screw job?
No, we just don't like him. Thank you for that. That was fantastic. I'm going to do it for you, Sawyer. Guns? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. Anyway, that is the wrestling, the NXT wrestling review show. We got this, what's his name? San Diego, Santana, Sangrita. I don't know who he is, but he said, I'll be on to how you like that. I don't know. I don't know if I like anything. Now Doll is talking about, what is going on here? Okay, let's just move on.
Why? Because I said my friend's a pain in mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, what's going on here?
All we do is just tease and then like to banter and stuff. That's what good friendship is. Uh-huh. If I can be really, really nice to someone, or if I can be a smart mouth and make comments like that, then.
You ever thought about like what some of my friends I've thought about spraying graffiti on their garage door? You ever thought about doing that?
Not to that extent.
I think I just exposed myself.
Well, I don't want to get a record. I can't afford one now with my job.
I can't afford anything. I live in New York. Anyway, that's the NXT review show. Let's plug some shows, Wrestling Doll. Monday. What happens on Mondays around 6 p.m.?
You have the Mike Knox show, the show for the intelligent wrestling fans, so Elvis can't watch.
Ooh. Oof.
Where he discusses all things that happens in the world of wrestling. And he gives his input on it, and then occasionally, or most of the time, you might hear him yell about how Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all time, which is still very debatable.
It's subjective. I'm sorry. When I was doing it like if Elvis had a heart, but he doesn't. But yes, absolutely.
Okay. You can't hit what you don't have.
That means you can't get kicked in the dick.
We can find a way. They can kill Michael Myers in the Halloween franchise.
I do want to throw out real quick in one of the UPR battles, I represented Frankenstein and I dominated Cedar Superior, representing Frankenstein, and she represented that guy that you did, and I won because that's what I do. I'm the forever winner. Shout out to me. Jeffrey mentioned too. So this is the setup here. We should actually talk a little bit about it and put some eyes on it. After the match, after the Extreme Rules match, you have in the background, I mean, in the backstage, Trick, he he's with Melo. He said, "Hey, I know tonight wasn't your night, dog, but we still we still rocking." Um, but Melo, you can see him looking at the championship. So it's crazy because I mentioned earlier, when Melo dropped the title, I wasn't happy, but for the story purposes, it makes me go, okay, so Shawn Michaels, right? He's with NXT creative and all that stuff, right? And it gives me the vibe of when Diesel became the WWE champion more than years ago. Someone could tell me the year. And Shawn Michaels was jealous. Shawn Michaels is being Carmelo Hayes, being played by Carmelo Hayes, and Trick being Diesel, aka Kevin Nash, Big Sexy. It's funny. We're talking. I was talking to Sawyer earlier. We're telling a bunch of stories about Kevin Nash. He's a hilarious dude. But it's you're starting to see the plant. You're starting to see the seed being planted on eventually these guys having a fallout, and it's just I'm just not ready for it, guys. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Nobody's gonna be ready for that. When
No.
that happens, we're all gonna start crying.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Jeffrey also mentioned. I'm glad that you mentioned that piece there, Jeffrey. Melo touched the title too, so it was almost like he was looking at a title. I think he could have
already? He's like, I miss having a title.
Yeah, it's it was something. I think George said something earlier. I'm sorry, I just kind of slipped my head. It was something that'll probably come up to me when we do these plugs. But yeah, George is saying I'm not ready for it yet. Melo touched the title. Let's just continue to plug these shows. It'll come to me after. But on Tuesdays you can catch us. We'll be back this Tuesday talking NXT. It's always a great time. Don't listen to San Diego in the chat saying please stop watching. Thank you for just being in the chat, dude. Like you don't even understand. Like you're not hurting us.
The product that you stayed to watch us. How interesting.
Well, it is. We're just a bunch of pretty people. A couple of you have some pretty people, and Chris. What else do we have on Wednesday? JL is back. JL is back after probably like fighting a tree or something like that. Melo deserves.
He was probably spearing himself through some doors and stuff like Braun Breaker would.
He just goes to Home Depot.
If you're then he should be fine.
I think he's good now. I think he got all that anger and pent up frustration now. So fantastic for JL. Also on Wednesdays, we're reviewing right now the Continental or something like that. It's on Peacock. We did a review this past Wednesday. We should be having an AEW review show right after Dynamite goes off the air. Shout out. We see you, JL. Also want to shout out Crazy Joe. I see you in the chat. That's the Diesel to my Bret Hart. Shout out to him. And Jeffrey asks, JL, you cooled off? JL, Braun Breaker losing. And JL writes, don't remind me. But on Wednesday, you can catch them for an AEW review show. I don't know if we're having a top 5. We usually have it on Thursdays around 7 p.m. And I think that's all the shows. And on Saturdays in the morning time, if you guys wake up around 11 and you guys want to hear a Monday Night Raw and SmackDown review, we combined it into one show and we talk about both Raw and SmackDown. It's usually me, the executive consultant, and Big Vic. So shout out to them, which we have discovered that we're. Can you guess who's who? Like when you think about the New Day, who's who in New Day between me, Vic, and EC? Wrestling Doll.
EC represents somebody in the New Day, but they're all funny and goofy and likable.
Ooh.
And there's no one in the New Day that declares themselves a leader, so I can't pick who he would be in the New Day.
Who do you think I would be?
Kofi?
Everyone says that. I think it's the hair. Who do you think Vic would be?
Biggie?
You're getting somewhere. We discovered that today. I'm Kofi. He's Biggie, and EC has to be Xavier Woods without the hair. And talent, because Xavier is very talented. EC, he's like a. You ever seen a mop that's just dried? That's EC. Just dried. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's finish the show. But yeah, you can catch all that there.
We
that's the
also
shit.
have our own separate programs as well that we
Please
can
plug your stuff.
So I have a YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman, where I go around Central Florida recording, filming, going to matches in independent wrestling scenes all throughout the area. I'm at the 890 mark. Got to keep that going up so I can hit that 1,000 eventually. I'm not going to go please, I'm trying to get this much by this time because no, I just like it to come organically. And in a few months, I will actually be heading to my first NWA show.
Ooh,
I mean, obviously,
nice.
I can't film because they'll be recording over there, but I might take some pictures.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to see all that stuff. That's fantastic. And continue. Oh my God, it's
Some of
not
the
such.
names that have popped up in other companies and in WWE, you can see on the channel as well.
Please give her a follow. She's fantastic. And you put out really good quality stuff. And yeah, please give her a follow. Okay. I'm sorry, someone in the chat just like threw me the hell off. Like you said, we have separate things. The link to her YouTube is there, so please give her a follow and continue to help making her channel grow. On my end, I have an audio podcast along with the spectacular Shay Sawyer. She's in the chat, giving hell, and we talk about the week in wrestling. We're gonna do a recording tomorrow. We usually do it on a Sunday in the afternoon. We pop it out on those. You see those platforms: Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. And we're hoping to put it on some other content, some other platforms, but we're also too on our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel. Just recently, shout out to friend of the show, and Cat We Trust, or who I just call Mistrust. She yells a lot, like way too much. Just a lot of yelling, and I can't wait to. The trust wars is upon us, and I'm going to beat her in Mortal Kombat because I'm undefeated. I know this because I beat a bunch of 70-year-olds, so I can't be stopped. But check it out. They do a review as a collab between Big Pop and then Cat We Trust.
I'm all set.
Thank you. So we're gonna do that, and we're trying to put some more content out there too. We might do some. There's a lot of thoughts that we have. When we eventually get to it, we'll let people know, and that's it. So continue to follow Big Pop Theory Podcast. Follow the Wrestling Doll on her YouTube channel, the Unofficial Camera Woman, and continue to follow on Popular View here because we're right here. So with all that said, Wrestling Doll, why don't we? No, I will. Jeffrey's trying to start stuff.
He's stirring the pot.
Yeah, he is. He said the graphic needs to change. I don't know.
That tea like that lady did in the Get Out movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie was wild. Like that movie was just so wild. We got a great show tonight, like I said, is George. It's fighting. You got
Big Daddy Cool's not here because he would have a field day with that guy.
Oh yeah, no, he would have been a lot worse than me. See, I'm actually, even though it's this bad guy, I'm not really bad. I'm not that bad, so I couldn't do anything. But I sit there and say thank you for being in this chat. I think you wanted to stir up stuff, and the chat really say it with me, chat. San Diego got dominated because you guys, Jeffrey, George. Well, I don't think New H Man did anything. New H Man is very kind. He's the kind of guy who he doesn't pollute. So I like that. But San Diego, you got dominated. With that said, Wrestling Doll, why don't you say goodbye to the lovely people? Let's call it a night. Let me look for this graphic. All right, why don't you tell the lovely people good night?
Good night, everybody.
Thank you guys for watching on Popular View NXT No Mercy. You guys are awesome. You guys rock. And we will see you guys on Tuesday. You guys rock. Thank you for joining us on this stream, and we'll see you guys Tuesday. And enjoy the rest of your night.